Been a little while. And as you guys can see, Jeep's still here. Here is just different. So yeah, the last month or 2 or 5 or however long it's been since I uploaded a video was because we were moving. A lot was going on. The Jeep is actually broken. We'll get into that. But yeah, you can just say a lot's changed. Let me take you back a little bit and kind of catch you guys up. Still not fixed. So yeah, the Jeep, it's tucked away in its new home within our new home, and the garage is a wreck. I'm definitely going to get around to sorting this stuff out and cleaning it up, but that's not what this video is about. This video, we're getting a cool little mod done before we take the truck and the wife's JL up to Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. Let's get into that. So just to bring you guys up to speed, the wife has her JL that's going to be in the Canati Tire booth at the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. And because of that, we've had to doll it up a little bit. And we're actually getting ready to replace these cheesy plastic fenders very, very soon, but that's not what we're doing today. Today's focus is actually on the truck. And the mod that we're doing on the truck is, well, actually not really much of a mod at all, but we are going to be installing a 12-volt outlet in the bed of the truck because it didn't come with one for some reason. And yeah, so 12-volt outlet going in the back of the truck, and that outlet is so we can keep all of our beverages nice and cold in this thing. This is a cool little fridge freezer combo from a little company called Bodega. And for years, I've used my trusty Icon cooler, and that thing's not going anywhere. It's generally strapped to the back of the Jeep, but we wanted something a little bit different to add for some of our longer trips that didn't require any ice. And this thing definitely doesn't require any ice, but it does require power. So in the JL, that's no issue. There's a 12-volt plug in the back. Plug this in, we're good to go. The truck, well, that's what we're doing today. And well, I guess I should probably clean out the rest of this crap from moving before we go any further. All right, so probably the easiest way I can think to do this is to use the provided cigarette power cord that comes with the cooler or fridge, whatever you want to call it. So I went ahead out to Napa, picked up this little guy, auxiliary power source, 12 volt. So this is essentially the inside of what you would see on your dash. That is going to be our 12-volt power source. So I'm going to go ahead and whip this thing up a nice little bracket so that I can mount it somewhere around here. And actually, now that I'm taking a look at this thing, it has a bracket already on the back. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we can just mount it here or there. Let's do that. All right, so first things first, I went ahead and I actually had this fuse, inline fuse holder, and all of this wiring left over from an old rock light set that was actually on the Jeep. And so I'm gonna start with this. That's gonna be our power. Now we just gotta hook it up and run it all the way to the back of the bed. All right, so I went ahead and pulled the fuse out of this guy so that I could just go ahead and get it wired in. Now I'm going to run the wire into the cabin, because I think what I'm gonna do there is actually gonna be put a switch so that I can control when this guy is on or off. Sorry for the echo, but I have the wire run up to the back of the bed, and now I'm just gonna drill a little hole in here. This is actually rhino lined, so I would pull this out, but that's actually rhino lined in there. I don't know why, but they just lined over everything. So I'm just gonna pop a quick little hole in there, and then we'll run the wire in, and then probably fish it up and forward so that we can get our power set up. And that's all we'll need. All right. And I think we're gonna have just enough wire. Perfect. And with a few screws tossed in, I think this bracket is in the perfect spot to mount this guy up here. We'll run our ground through this little hole. Our power is gonna come up from above, and we'll have a plug facing down so it never has any water or any issues like that. And now I'll just zip tie this wire up and out of place. I'll run the ground, and then we should have power back in the back of the truck. Okay, so I ran this ground wire in through that hole, and I have a couple lights behind the tail light that are inside of the cab that are grounded here. I don't know if that's going to be sufficient ground, but it was already there, so I'm going to try that. And I guess probably the best way to try that is going to be to see if we have power here. And I got an idea to try that out. I'm going to grab a phone charger, plug it in, and see if I guess if we have power. But first I got to add this fuse back in here, and of course, don't worry, I will absolutely be coming back in here to clean up all this wiring. And because I'm filming this with my phone, I guess we'll use this ring light that we have laying around to see if this thing's gonna work or not. Got the little LED there. And I think there's a button on this thing. Let's see. Oh, hey. Looks like power to me. Cool. Let's get the fridge up inside. All right, guys. So, of course, the fridge freezer came with a power cord for, I guess, inside the house, like the 240 watt. But it also came with this guy. And if we did this right, there we go. So we are all set. Now, of course, it looks like it's 82 degrees. And that's because, well, it's hot out here. And the freezer's been out here with me the whole time. But the great thing about having both options here is instead of killing the battery on the truck, I can actually get this thing nice and chilled off, plugged up in the house, and then bring it with us, and it'll keep on running. So as you can hear, it's pretty quiet. It is fully adjustable, so you have both the large portion and the small portion. It is reading 11.3 volts right now. So I should probably start the truck just so it doesn't kill the battery. But this was it. That's proof of concept. Now we're one step closer to having this thing at the show. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't taken the time to really figure this thing out yet, but I know there's an app that comes with this fridge where it'll automatically shut the fridge off if the battery gets too low. But that's also kind of one of those things where realistically, for long-term camping, I would most likely just have a second battery or a backup battery. And actually, these guys make a battery that you can plug into the back of the unit, or you could go with solar power. So there's a ton of different options to be able to keep this thing on and powered. And at the end of the day, if it really came down to it, there's actually a drain plug in the bottom. So I guess you could always just fill it with ice. And hey, okay, I get it. These two rigs, no matter how cool they are really probably not the reason why you're here. It's probably this guy. And I promise you, I've got a really cool video for this one coming up soon. But it's been a while. I felt like I owed you guys something. So you got to see this weekend's project. If you're coming to the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, be sure to come find us. Be on Instagram. I'll kind of keep up with where we're at or where we're going to be. I'd love to just hang out with you guys, have a beer, whatever. The wife will actually be in the Canati booth, like I mentioned earlier. I'll probably be there with her. My Jeep, unfortunately, not going to be there, but we're still going to be there. We're still going to be having a good time, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.